Ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this opportunity to welcome you once again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding by watching what politicians do. I also want to use this opportunity to wish all Jamaicans home and abroad best wishes for the new year. Again, the way the country is, the trajectory of the country is on, I can't even say with any certainty about best wishes for everyone in Jamaica. But I do hope it turns out to be a great year for everyone. You understand? And a safe and secure year, far much better than what it was before. On Tuesday the 24th of December, I went to an office in New York and I met a young Jamaican lady. She's about 27. She's been in the country in New York here for 8 years now. So we got to talking, knowing that we're from Jamaicans. We exchanged pleasantries, talk about family backgrounds, where we're from, father, mother, and all of these things, and how long we've been in the country. Have you done any studies, increase your, you understand, and all of these things, and what are your plans going forward in life, and just about everything we talk about as Jamaicans. I know, seeing it was Christmas Eve, we talked about what we're going to have for Christmas. I told her that I was really invited by my daughter for Christmas dinner, but I won't be able to make it because I got a note, I got to go to work Christmas Eve during the night, and I won't be off until Wednesday evening or Wednesday night, or even Thursday morning. I may be off, so that was it. And the argument, our discussion didn't get serious until she asked me when last and how often I went to Jamaica. I told her I try to get to Jamaica about twice per year, and the last time I was there in September. It was in September of this year, a couple of months ago. She said, well, how was it? I said, well, like any other country, you just got to be careful, know what you know, you get into your community, you stick to the people you know, you stay close, you don't move around a lot, you don't spread yourself too thin. You understand? And just do what you have to do and get out. She said, well, for me, I don't think I'm going back to Jamaica. I said, why? She said to me, with the level of crime that she hear about that is happening in Jamaica, she's definitely afraid of going back to Jamaica, her own country, to lose her life. And she's not going back to Jamaica. She has no intention of going back to Jamaica. I could not say anything to her. I couldn't question her. Because that's her perspective, that's what she hears, that's what she is holding on to. And I don't want to tell her to, oh yes, it's okay to go back to Jamaica, and then she goes back to Jamaica and lose her life. You understand? Because if that happens, I don't think Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. National Security Minister, Mr. Commissioner could sleep with myself. Maybe you guys can go sleep, but I couldn't sleep. Because apparently I don't think the amount of death that is happening in the country is affecting you guys. However, we concluded doing business, and I stepped out. A friend of mine has sent me a video on a text message prior to Tuesday, but I didn't look at it, because I'm really not a phone person. I'll take days and sometimes hours to respond to messages, because I'm pretty busy. I work hard, study hard, and that's me. So I decided to look at the video, because this person is a very dear friend of mine. So when I home the WhatsApp apps and look at it, the name went see first. I can call his name now because I wanted to do this video before, but in respect to the family, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call his name. But it's all over on social media platform. The name is there, the video is there, everything is there. So I must use the opportunity first of all to say condolence to the family, to his wife, children, mother, who I think is still alive. I believe she's still alive. And yell up to you, Mama Cephas. You understand? One of my swindle son, you know. Brothers, sisters, nephews, niece, and everybody. Condolence to the entire family. Condolence to the entire family. Definitely, I'm going to use this opportunity to make a call out to the sister. I'm going to make a shout out to the sister Altia. I don't know if you're in Jamaica or you're in Florida. Wherever you are and you hear this thing, for me, please, if anyone tells you about this video, please, you have my number. Can you call me and tell me when preparation is in place for the burial? Because I'd love to be there. Anyway, going back to what I said, I looked at it and I realized that it's my dear friend Wayne Cephas, who was shot. I don't know if it's why. I'm not really going to get into the why. You understand? But it's not surprising, but it's heart-rending to know that these kind of shootings can to daylight, broad daylight shooting, I don't care one shit about nobody, murder can continue to happen, and the government is not doing one crap about it. When I saw it, I remember clearly what the young lady was telling me. She's not going back to Jamaica. And for you, Mr. Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police and the Brigadier and all the security think tank experts that we have in Jamaica, let me tell you something. There are millions of people here across Jamaica and the diaspora across the world who is not coming back home. Because they are afraid. They're afraid of the Jamaica that you guys have there for us to greet us. I do come to Jamaica twice a year. But what do? I'm not going to spread myself, buddy. The most I'll do, I'll get into probably Linstead Town and buy myself a patty and a cocoa bread. Because I love the patty and cocoa bread thing from Juicy Beef. And two of them country style orange juice. And I'm gone. That's the only thing I'll shop for in Linstead. Nothing more. And that's because it's the nearest Juicy Beef patty place to me. If I don't feel like it, I go to Bag Walk and get something. One has to be very careful. Very careful going back home to Jamaica. You don't come home to hurt anyone. You don't come home to war with anyone. You don't come home in a conflict with anyone. You just come home to relax, enjoy yourself, and bam, your life is taken away from you. Just like that. And what can the government do? I mentioned this to a friend of mine in Germany about the incident with Wayne Cephas and my good friend Wayne Cephas. And he says to me, his response was, I think the government is doing enough. And what more can the government do? And I said to him, my friend, if you think the government is doing enough, and you're asking me, what more can the government do? Let me tell you something. If you run out of idea as to what more the government can do, you can think of nothing else that the government can do. If the government is in that situation, that they can't think of anything else to do, my question to the government would be, why don't you tell the nation honestly and truthfully what you cannot do as far as crime is concerned, curtailing crime in the country? Tell the nation honestly what you can do, because if you're doing enough, and this is the state of crime, then Jesus Christ, man, be honest and tell us what you can't do as a government. Tell the nation what you cannot do if you're doing enough and you have done enough. Because what is happening in Jamaica doesn't reflect enough. And how do we quantify or qualify enough if you're at that state and that level, Mr. Government? A couple of days after learning about my good friend Demise, there's an incident at an hospital in Jamaica where a nurse was attacked by a man of unsound mind. She was treating him. After explaining his right stream and the treatment he's going to get and everything, and the man agreed and said, oh yes, I've done that before and I agree, I know the procedure, so let's get on with it. She attempted to start the procedure with him. That's when the man attacked her. When this is not a one-off incident in the hospital, because even from the very nurse who was attacked, she made it clear that they have been trained every day. Now, ladies and gentlemen of Jamaica and women abroad, let us think about this. If government can't even provide security for the people who should be taking care of your lives when you're sick, what the shit is happening in Jamaica? What are we people waiting on? How many nurses has to get attacked? How many more Wayne Seedfast need to be murdered in the street? No, this is the manager of Fast Rich. This is not a guy who is... What is happening here? Let me give a brief history of Wayne Seedfast. Wayne Seedfast is a good friend of mine. The family is a good friend of mine. It's a family I know for more than 50 years. Over 50 years I know the family. We didn't live far from each other. Their mom, his mom, which I do believe is still alive, would never pass me, recognize me and don't say hi. And I was never going to pass her and say no hi. Her father, my father, their father, my father was a very good friend. His father used to ride, leave his home at night at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock when he know they, and come to my father and ask my father, what the man play? Those were the days of drop on. So I'm just ride, come ask my father what the man play, and ride back home. So the family, I knew them from years. I knew Wayne when he was a kid because I'm much older than Wayne. But this is how Wayne and I became close. He and my brother, my bigger brother now, the one that I follow, we're close friends before I even get close to Wayne. At the time I used to live in Old Auburn, Darlington Drive, I used to date my first wife and my son. And my brother and Wayne used to come to the house every evening. And they came, have dinner, get them shower. Because my brother just go in and take out stuff and them bathe and them eat and them gone. No problem. At one point, it went on for about weeks before my wife even mentioned it to me because I didn't come home at the time I was working with Sealy. And I was doing a accounts and business management course at Duff's Business College. Whosoever remember the college in Crossroad. So I would come home late at night. So my wife didn't mention that to me about Ian and my brother until about 2-3 weeks after it was happening. And I said, what did you say to them? She said, nothing. I said, what do you have to say? If you say nothing to them, what are we going to say? Leave them alone. And go on until these guys start to come home and share them own dinner. Go find them own fresh towel and go bathe and brush them teeth because we always have fresh toothpaste and toothbrush for them. And that's how I and Wayne became close. And that man has never passed me without saying hi. Never see me even on social media and give me a thumb without a thumbs up. It was Sunday the 22nd that I spoke to him. We had a quick talk and the last thing I said to Wayne, I said, listen, my brother, listen. If I was in Jamaica and have the autonomy or the authority running certain office, I would create a special award for exemplary citizens of Jamaica. And to be honest, my brother, you would be my first awardee for that award. You would be my first recommended awardee for that award. And Wayne, you know, everybody know him. Simple, easy going youth. Dan Dada. Yes, Dan Dada. Enough respect, enough love, enough honor. Cut me to the core, my youth. We saw them dirty young. Cut me to the core. And Dan Dada just said, boy, brethren, you know how we stay. We don't grow them fussy way and we don't grow them very. Do what we have to do. We have our ambition, we do what we have to do and we achieve what we achieve and we're done. But we just go about our life quietly and peacefully. I said, respect, brother, because I said, you know, we don't know. That's the history of Wayne. I don't think his family even know it. I mentioned it to his sister about 2 years ago. And maybe a year and a half ago. She couldn't even believe when I was telling her that. And that's how myself and Wayne became great friends. Great guy, great guy, Mr. Prime Minister, exemplary citizen, the kind of people and quality people you want in Jamaica. And you can't even offer protection to them. When I look at the video, what I was listening to here was police siren in the background and ambulance siren in the background. Nobody in my box up the man's face and say, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. Him not dead, that's all everybody around him I say. Come on, man. Then how, Mr. Prime Minister, do you guys expect us to come back home to the country? What do you expect us to come home to the country to do? You're telling us in the diaspora all over the world to come back and help Jamaica and build Jamaica. How are we coming back when you can't even protect the people at home, much more us? How many people have migrated back to Jamaica and have lost their life in Jamaica over the last 10 years? Do you have the statistic ready for us? No. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to point out something here also in terms of crime in the country, and don't let these damn deceitful people fool you. Don't let them fool you. Watch what they do. I see a report a couple of days ago about a reduction in crime. I think they say crime has reduced by 19% or something like that. I stand to be corrected. Murders are done by X amount of percent and all of that. Well, let me ask all Jamaicans, home and abroad. Yeah, let us say the murders goes down by 10 or 12%. Does the fear of crime goes down the same 10 or 12% with murders? Which government has ever in the history of our country attempt to measure the fear of crime in society? Which government has ever attempted to look at the level of crime, fear of crime in the country? And what it's doing to people's psyche, what it's doing to your mentality, the stress levels put you under. Because when you work and you hit the street and you're not safe, you can't. Every time you leave, you ask God to protect you going out, and when you get back home, say, thank you, God, I come home safe. This is the society in which you live. This is the society in which we live now. And what are we doing as people? We are sitting back, we're relaxing, we're taking it easy, and we say, oh yeah, government have them here, government have them this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolute crap. This is absolute bullshit. It is now for us as people to start to wake up. Not start to wake up. It's now for us to wake up. And let government know that the promise politics are giving us is not going to work no more. I'd like to see come the next general election in 2025. Merely a 30% of the voter population turns out. I'd love to see 30% of the voter population turns out to the polls. Let me see which one of them can talk about a mandate to rule or govern. Because that's the only way we can send a hardcore message to these people. They have no interest in you. They're not concerned about your fear of crime. But they're concerned about the percentage drop in crimes. Because crime is still driven by, is a numbers game for them. It is a numbers game for them. So everything they quote you about crime is going to be by numbers. By numbers. Oh, murders went down by this. But here's another thing. They publish in the Glean or whatever forum there is. Oh, we captured 3 guns today, 4 guns yesterday, and all of that. So in this whole month we captured 21 guns. But 21 guns represented what percentage of the projected guns out there? They can't tell you. Because none of them has ever even try to have an imaginary count or a projected count of how many guns out there. Nobody. They can't tell that. Look at what the government is doing. They're calling on U.S. to stop the flow of guns into the country. Have you ever heard them mention that we're going to stop the flow of guns at our port? They've never mentioned stopping the guns at the port of entry in Jamaica. Whether they come through the airport by sea or wherever they want to come sneak in the guns by, whichever means. You never hear government mention that. But they call on U.S. to help them stop the flow of guns, to U.S. to lock down on the flow of guns coming out of the country. Because that's their focus on fighting crime. That's where they think the crime is going to stop, by just stopping the guns in America. You stop all the guns in America and see what happens. The question was asked. In a recent interview I looked at Haiti. Where does Haiti get all of those? Haiti don't make bullets, Haiti don't make guns. But where do they get all those guns and bullets from? Let's be honest. We have been bamboozled here, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to make this call once again to all Jamaicans home and abroad. Wake up. Wake up. Welcome to the Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. I wish you all not a Merry Christmas anymore. That's behind us. A Happy New and Prosperous New Year. But what and safe and secured New Year for what it may bring. Then let us put our shoulders to the wheel. I mean, we still can't give up. We still got to work hard. We still got to have our dreams. We still got to have projections in life. And we have to keep trying. But most of all, we have to now start to take our existence serious. From a political standpoint, we have to take it serious. We have to start to look at what these politicians are doing to us. The governance we're getting from even this present administration is poor. And I'm not saying this about JLP because I'm against JLP. I'm saying it because that's the facts. Their performance today is poor. And I'm sure the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, every one of them will tell you, yes, we can do better. But we are constrained by this, we are constrained by this. And if you know what is constraining you, why can't you solve it? Can't. It's the same thing with the PNP. Don't think the PNP is any better. None of them has anything great to offer the country. It's all about power for them. It's all about power and money. Let me say this, PJ Patterson set the tone. No Prime Minister, no Minister of Government, now left politics poor again. Go back in our history. PJ Patterson set this tone. PJ Patterson set it. And nobody will leave politics poor again. Ladies and gentlemen, all the best to you guys, Jamaicans home and abroad. For the holiday, like I said, this is not a PNP nor a JLP thing. This is all about a betterment for Jamaican and for us as a people. We have to come together and do our thing. 2025 is coming up on us fast, and I've been singing this from March. I'm not going to stop singing this song. We're not going to sing that song. We're not going to stop singing this song. Are you building a nation and are you building out? You can't build no nation for no if and but. Remember that song, the singer for Run We left Jamaica because of that song. The same thing happened today. So let us wake up, people. It is in our interest to do what we have to do and secure our future. Once again, all the best to you, Lennie Robbins. And I must use this opportunity in closing now to say condolence to the Cephas family. Mother, brothers, sisters, wife, children, nieces, nephews, extended family, close friends, and all of that. And if none of my brothers has yet reached out to the family, I want to use this opportunity on behalf of myself and us and my other brothers to say condolence to the Cephas family. Again, Altia, if you know when the funeral is going down, you have my number. Just give me a call. I'll drop it in my message box. And because I'd love to be there. I'd really love to be there. Honestly, I'd love to be there. All the best to you guys. Lennie Robbins out.